Have you ever heard of Die Glocke? It's one of the most intriguing and mysterious stories to come out of World War II. That's German for the bell. But this wasn't just any ordinary bell. It's a story that started with whispers, thanks to a Polish journalist named Igor Witkowski. He was the first to bring this enigma to light. In his 2000 book, The Truth About the Wonder Weapon, Witkowski said he found evidence of a super-secret Nazi project. This project was shrouded in secrecy and speculation. This project was all about a bell-shaped metal thing, a device with incredible powers. It was said to be capable of feats that defied the laws of physics. Another journalist, Nick Cook, who writes about airplanes, made the story even more famous in his book, The Hunt for 0 Point. He delved deeper into the mystery. Cook was looking into secret Nazi weapons, especially ones that might defy gravity. His research added more layers to the enigma. He thought Witkowski's story about the bell was really interesting, and suddenly, the mystery went global. People from all over the world became fascinated. According to these stories, the bell wasn't just some machine. It was something far more extraordinary. It was top secret, with rumors swirling around it. Some even believed it had the power to alter time and space. It was like the ultimate Nazi tech dream, showing how much they wanted to control forces beyond anything we understand. They were reaching for the impossible. But here's the thing. Nobody knows for sure if Die Glocke even existed. It's a puzzle with many missing pieces. It's a story pieced together from little bits of information, what some people said they saw, and a lot of guessing. The truth remains elusive. But even so, the mystery of the bell is still fascinating. It captures the imagination and keeps people intrigued. It makes people wonder and argue about what it might have been. The enigma of Die Glocke continues to spark curiosity and debate. Figuring out what Die Glocke looked like is almost as hard as figuring out what it was for. The stories, which often disagree, describe something both amazing and scary. People usually say it was a big, bell-shaped object, about 9 feet across and 12 to 15 feet tall. It was supposedly made of some heavy, unknown metal, maybe even a kind of ceramic. Inside, it had 2 cylinders spinning in opposite directions. Some stories say these cylinders were filled with a weird substance called Xerum 525. This stuff was supposedly a metallic violet liquid that was very radioactive, maybe connected to the Nazis' nuclear program. People who said they saw it working described strange things happening, a humming noise, a blue glow, and a sick feeling for anyone close by. Its huge size, strange materials, and weird effects made Die Glocke seem really mysterious. It became a symbol of the unknown, a scary reminder of what can happen when science goes too far. Nobody knows what Die Glocke was really for. Because there's no real proof, there are tons of theories, each one crazier than the last. Some think it was a superweapon. They think the spinning cylinders might have made powerful tornadoes or shockwaves. Others think it was a sound weapon, meant to hurt or kill enemies with loud noises. An even stranger theory is that Die Glocke wasn't a weapon at all, but something for space travel or even time travel. People who believe this point to the stories about it defying gravity. They think the Nazis, using weird old theories and books, were trying to control unknown forces to travel to other stars. Another theory is that it was for making energy. Maybe the mysterious Xerum 525 being radioactive could have powered a new kind of reactor that made tons of energy. This energy, some say, could have powered other advanced weapons or even whole cities. Everyone has their own idea, but without real proof, it's impossible to know the truth about Die Glocke. It's a fascinating puzzle, a symbol of what science can do, both good and bad. The story of Die Glocke is often connected to a secret Nazi base called Der Riese, which means the giant. Hidden in the Owl Mountains in what's now Poland, this huge complex was super secret. They started building Der Riese in 1943, using forced labor from nearby concentration camps. It had tunnels, underground factories, and labs, all built using massive amounts of resources. The sheer size of the project shows how important it was to the Nazis. Some say Die Glocke was built and tested deep inside Der Riese. People say they saw it hanging from a giant steel frame in a huge underground room. The experiments there were supposedly very dangerous, with stories of accidents, mutations, and deaths. These stories, often passed down locally, paint a scary picture of what the Nazis did to get advanced technology. Even though it was top secret, Der Riese was real. The ruins, even though the Nazis tried to destroy them, are still there. They remind us of the Nazis' wartime goals and how far they were willing to go. We know the Nazis were deeply interested in the occult, in magic, and in secret knowledge that they believed could give them an edge. This fascination wasn't just a passing curiosity, it was a core part of their ideology. This intense interest, when mixed with their relentless desire for advanced technology, makes the story of Die Glocke even more mysterious and intriguing. The combination of these elements creates a narrative that is both fascinating and terrifying. Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS, was particularly obsessed with the occult. His belief in mystical powers and ancient secrets drove many of the SS's more bizarre projects. He even created special groups within the SS to study these esoteric subjects. These groups were tasked with uncovering hidden knowledge that could be used to further the Nazi cause. These groups, like the Ahnenerbe, delved into old books, myths, and paranormal phenomena, hoping to find any information that could give Germany an advantage in the war. They believed that ancient wisdom and supernatural forces could be harnessed for their purposes. Some researchers think that Die Glocke wasn't just a scientific project, but also had elements based on magical or mystical ideas. This theory adds another layer of complexity to an already enigmatic story. The bell shape, the mysterious substance known as Xerum 525, and the strange effects it reportedly had on people have all been linked to ancient secrets or even alien technology. These connections make the story of Die Glocke even more compelling. This mix of science and magic, while it sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, actually fits with the Nazi way of thinking. They were willing to explore any avenue, no matter how unorthodox, to achieve their goals. They wanted to create a new world order based on their twisted ideas of ancient Aryan power, and they believed that super advanced technology could help them achieve this. Their ambitions were as grandiose as they were terrifying. The idea that Die Glocke, something that seems like pure science fiction, might have been based on these beliefs makes it even more mysterious and unsettling. It blurs the line between reality and myth. It's a chilling reminder of what can happen when powerful people have dangerous ideas and are willing to mix science with the occult in their quest for power. The story of Die Glocke serves as a stark warning from history. As World War II was ending and the Allies were closing in, Die Glocke disappeared. Like other secret weapons, it just vanished. Some think it was taken apart and hidden in different places in Germany, or maybe even sent to South America with Nazi scientists who were running away. Others think the Nazis destroyed it so the enemy couldn't get it. An even more interesting theory is that the Americans or the Soviets captured it. Both countries wanted any technological advantage they could get. Some people point to Operation Paperclip, where the Americans recruited German scientists after the war. They think Die Glocke, along with other advanced tech, was secretly brought to the United States. Others think the Soviets, who controlled much of Eastern Europe, got it. They highlight how the Soviets also wanted advanced technology and used captured German scientists. Even with lots of investigations, nobody knows what happened to Die Glocke. Did it even exist, or was it just wartime propaganda and stories made up after the war? We still don't know. Even though the Die Glocke story is fascinating, many people don't believe it. They argue that the tale is more fiction than fact, a product of overactive imaginations and post-war myth-making. Critics say there's no real evidence, and the stories are often exaggerated, making the whole thing seem doubtful. They point out that many of the accounts come from unreliable sources or are based on hearsay. The biggest problem is the lack of proof. Without concrete evidence, such as physical artifacts or verified documents, the story remains in the realm of speculation. No parts, blueprints, or photos of the device have ever been confirmed. This absence of tangible evidence makes it difficult for historians to take the story seriously. The stories are based on what people said they saw, often told through other people, making them hard to trust. Eyewitness accounts, especially those passed down through generations, can be notoriously unreliable. Also, critics say the Nazis, even though they were good at technology, also lied and used propaganda. They were known for creating elaborate deceptions to mislead both their enemies and their own people. Maybe the idea of superweapons like Die Glocke was a way to make people feel better, scare enemies, and hide the fact that they were running out of resources. It could have been a psychological tool rather than a real technological breakthrough. The link to Nazi occultism, while interesting, also makes some people suspicious. The Nazis' interest in the occult has been well documented, but mixing it with advanced technology seems far-fetched to many. They say that linking such advanced technology to magic doesn't make scientific sense. Science and magic are often seen as opposing forces, making the story even harder to believe. People who believe in the Die Glocke story say that just because there's no proof doesn't mean it didn't exist. They argue that many historical events were once considered myths until evidence was found. They say the secrecy around the project and all the chaos at the end of the war could explain why there's no documentation. Important records could have been lost or destroyed in the turmoil. The debate about Die Glocke shows how hard it is to separate fact from fiction, especially with secret information and wartime propaganda. It highlights the challenges historians face when trying to uncover the truth. While it's important to be skeptical, the mystery of the unknown keeps people wondering and speculating. The allure of a hidden truth continues to captivate the imagination, driving both skeptics and believers to keep searching for answers.